and welcome back to Drupalcon for Thursday. We're still going. Okay, I think it's the last day today, but what a week so far. I'm Rachel Lawson, Community Liaison at the Drupal Association, and today I have with me Pablo Cambra, who is the elected at-large board member on the Drupal Association. How are you doing, Pablo? Pedro, why did I say Pablo?
I don't know. It happened to me all my life. Even my grandma will call me Pablo because I have a cousin just named Pablo. So it's okay. Don't worry. I'm doing fine. It's a bit early for me.
It's clearly early for me too.
I was really pleased with the jingle. I was promised a jingle and we got a jingle. That was very
Good
nice.
jingle.
The,
How are you doing today?
very good. I mean, I'm
Very
actually excited a lot for the Thursday at DrupalCon. There's a lot of technical stuff, and that's my
It
alley.
is, yeah. You are really into the technical side of things, which is great. And you're on the Drupal Association board, so you get to represent that side of things as well, bringing the actual the maker to the table, for want of a better description, the actual builder of things, which is great. Talking of building things, what's that picture behind you? Is that a corner of the Millennium Falcon?
It is a corner of the Millennium Falcon. There you go. A good friend of mine gave it to me as a present when I was living in London. Actually, a Drupal person, and now that we actually own a house, I can hang pictures on the wall, which I haven't been able for so many years.
Wow! Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Actually, I'm quite.
And
happy
I have
now.
3 cats. Some of them are heavier than others, and I have a cat shelf on the other side, so that's covering 2 big holes that are in the wall as well.
Well, yeah, it's the great thing about having a house is occasionally holes appear in the wall. I know that. I've got an old house as well. And you're out in absolutely right up in the top left-hand corner of Spain, yeah, in the northwest corner.
Yes.
In fact, I think the sun is only just coming up with you right now, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just watching a nice sunrise while I was waiting for this.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. So we've had 3 days of DrupalCon so far. Any particular highlights from you? Anything that has really given you inspiration?
The LJ Rich keynote was something. It was very entertaining. When we were like selecting content, I was watching her video and I was like halfway through, I was like, what am I watching? But I'm super entertained. Not a musician, so it's probably I'm not getting half of it, but it was really, really good. And I've been very involved in distributions lately. So seeing local gov folks all around DrupalCon has been very nice because they're doing a really, really fantastic job there. What else? The configuration management initiative is always nice to see an update from. So Fabian did a session on that yesterday or the day before. I lost time on DrupalCon.
I mean, that configuration management, the whole thing that we've done there initially in Drupal 8 and now in Drupal 9 and into 10, is completely transformed building Drupal sites. I remember back when I first learned how to use features in Drupal 7, and that was like, wow, I've actually got some control over the structure. But that in itself was so complex because of the old way that Drupal 7 worked. But now in Drupal 8, it's proper separation of concerns, you could say, between structure and content, and it's huge. It's a really big deal.
Yeah, and Fabian is doing a fantastic job there, and he's always looking for help with contributing. So there's a contributing half a day today from.
So absolutely. We should talk about today and the things that we're really looking forward to today. You talk about this afternoon in European time. So 1400 UTC.
Okay.
Yes, 1400 UTC, I think. Hang on, let me get my right now. 12
12
UTC.
UTC, right?
12 UTC.
It's 2
Yeah.
p.m. It's 2 p.m. European
Yeah.
time.
2 p.m. European time. I printed my calendar out
That
in
was a
UK
really
time.
that was a really good idea. I wish I got that point there.
I've just printed it out in the wrong time zone to do things.
wow.
Today I changed it yesterday. So that takes place at 2 p.m. European time, CEST. That's 12 UTC. And mentored contribution allows people who've never contributed to the Drupal project itself before to learn and work with others and work with mentors who will help them to understand how to choose an issue to work on, how to be able to understand what's there on the screen, and to understand the ways that they can give back. Even tiny things like just going through the process and taking a screenshot to show that what the problem really is, reviewing an issue, making sure the issue makes sense, and improving the issue summary so that someone can come across it and read it and really understand what the issue is. Really tiny things can make a huge difference to how we improve things.
That's very true, and there's a team of mentors that they do a terrific job. They organize themselves incredibly. I'm always amazed with the amount of movement that there is in that area. So that's going to be fun for everyone. Even if you
Yeah.
don't have a plan to contribute, I think it's worth going there and ask. Just ask, and people
absolutely
will help you, which is something, right? Which is something, right?
And I think the main thing, the way to go into mentor contribution is to think small. Don't think I am going to make this huge change to Drupal in an afternoon.
Yeah.
No, go in, think small. I'm here not to learn how to do this amazing PHP or CSS thing. Go in, I'm going to learn the process that we all use as a community so that when I go home, we are at home. When we're outside Drupalcon, then we can do those things and do that with the big PHP, CSS things. Think
and they're
small. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are opportunities to everyone. Documentation. There's a lot of stuff going on in the front end. There are processes, and there's always the backend part. There's the project browser, and all of that. I think there's a keynote for the community initiatives as well.
I believe so. Yes. That's
just before closing. So don't miss
is.
that, because that's going to be. You're going to see. It's a spoiler of what's going to happen in Drupal in the following months, isn't it?
When it's down to Drupal, spoilers are good. Knowing what's coming up, knowing what to expect is a good place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a business owner, knowing how the thing that makes your business work is going to continue to improve into the future. That's your business. These are things you want to know. And there are people out there doing this work, being able to hear from those working on these initiatives. It's your business. Listen to them, ask questions, and get involved. So that would be really good. I tell you what I haven't done yet. I haven't been to the photo booth. And I think we should. So we will both pop along to the photo booth after this and make sure that we force ourselves in there and take a photo for the big Drupalcon photo, which will be amazing.
You have second takes there, right? It's not just
second.
one.
I'm sure it will let you do as many takes as it needs.
I probably need a couple of takes to look presentable.
Yeah. Oh, don't. I actually, believe it or not, I actually hate being on camera. Although I seem to have been on it. I seem to have been on it a lot this week. It's just the way it goes. I tell you, there are a couple of other things I'm looking forward to this morning. After this, we've got idea to action: how to turn your passion into a Drupal community project. I think this is Amy June that's doing this, and it's a really great session. I've watched her do this once before, and it's absolutely one to watch, because if you want to think, how can I get involved, but I don't know even where to start, I've got this incredible idea, but I don't know where to start, or even if I should start. Go to that session straight after this, and I'm sure you will come out ready. Yeah.
I have a few things that I have in my plan
Oh yeah.
that I want to go. There's a session for Drupal for universities, and I haven't been I have been working in higher education before, so that's super interesting for me to see. And there's a huge amount of work around the couple Drupal, especially with Vue and Next. And there's a next session from Wolfgang later today. But there's also been Drax.js sessions through the week, which is super interesting if you're into the couple Drupal.
That would be good, because it's a subject I don't know enough about. I must admit, I do not know enough about. And there,
Dries mentioned that we wanted to have more components in that kind of a Driesometer that we saw yesterday. We wanted to have more components in the Drupal decouple based on the Drupal menu initiative and things like that. So I think Drax.js is something to watch out.
I'm still laughing at that slide with all these heads on the things. I'm sorry, that was.
I don't know who. We need to know who come with that, because that's.
I would imagine that would be one of Ash. There's somebody who works with it, does a lot of graphical work for him, called Ash, and they do these amazing things. So it would be Ash's work, will that be? I tell you what, I am looking forward to Nick Vinos talking about 5 reasons to believe in an open DXP.
I have that in my list too.
Apache Unomi. I can never pronounce it right. Working with Drupal, so yeah, it does sound really interesting, and I want to learn more about that.
Yeah, and we are hearing more and more about DXPs lately, and it's nice to see an open option, and rather than, because we already know the other options, so it's good to have this
absolutely, yeah. And it works for everyone. It works to everyone's benefit to have that kind of competition, because it makes the commercial offerings keep them on their toes, shall we say? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I believe there is a wrap up of the Drupalcon Europe at the end of the week as well. I can't remember the time, and for some reason it's not on my calendar. I must have missed it off. But that's later today as well, and that will be looking at, well, what is the future of Drupalcon Europe? How do we take what we have and what we've learned during these virtual times and add them into the future? What is the future for Drupalcon Europe, which will be interesting. So come along to that and ask questions. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, we're coming up with a few seconds to go to the time for the next session start. So thank you for coming along, Pedro. Where I got Pablo from this morning, I don't know. That's because I can't read the screen.